Welcome back, everyone. Well, you know, it's been said that the voice is the most beautiful instrument ever created, and that if you get the opportunity to hear a choral group, words come alive. And we're about to prove that to you because we have two members of the Mendelssohn Club out of Albany joining us today to tell us about an upcoming concert. We've got John Musacchio, who is the president of the Mendelssohn Club, and Jeff Vredenberg, who is Vredenberg, like Mendelssohn, Vredenberg, who is the director. Welcome, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
Very
for having
nice to
us.
have you here. Mendelssohn Club has been around for a long time, but in Albany, you were telling me, John, since 1909?
Yes, 1909.
Well,
was
that's
when the
quite a
club started.
tenure, don't you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah. What do you think is the reason for that? What do you think the interest is?
Well, I think it is a combination of both the fact that people love to get together and sing and make music and have camaraderie together, and also the audiences keep coming back, luckily, which helps us do what we do.
I bet it is. Now, you were telling me, Jeff, that you've been involved kind of in two different ways, a number of different ways, but also two different time periods, right? How many years have you been involved?
Basically, over two spans. I was in during the 1989 through 2000, and then I started up again in 2011 because I was finishing my teaching job here at Saratoga High School. I taught at Saratoga High School for 33 years with my wife, Brenda. I was the choral person, Brenda was the orchestra person there, and it got a little bit hard there around 2000 as we were finishing out our careers, lots of responsibilities. So I left for a couple of years, and then they invited me back in 2011 when the other conductor decided to move to Louisiana.
You know, I know it's a lot of work being a teacher, but boy, is it rewarding, right?
It is. The kids that we had here in Saratoga were just wonderful, and we're still in contact with a lot of them.
Yes.
And we just met yesterday with a cello person who was in Brenda's orchestra, and he's getting married next year in Florida, and it's just great to see their lives going on. And he's a music educator. He's teaching down at Scarsdale.
Well, you know what? You hear it said a lot that music is a universal language. And, you know, people have certain bonds. And I bet there are a lot of bonds within the choral group itself, right?
Oh, yes.
You know, I want to ask you, it's kind of an inside thing.
Sure.
You're a singer, you're a vocalist. So you get on stage, you know, when musicians get on stage, something happens in that collaboration.
Absolutely.
That, you know, I'm talking about musicians in regular music bands with instruments. But the same thing happens in a choral group, right? It's almost like the combination of the voices creates a third voice or a fourth voice or whatever. What is it like? I use two words that stuck in my mind: the blending and the listening. What is that like? How does that work?
Well, it's interesting. I'm a guitar player as well as a singer, so I have worked in bands like you were talking about, and it is interesting how instruments do come together that way. And the same way that musical instruments have to blend, I also think that that voices have to blend in the same way. And listening to one another while we're singing is key to make sure we're all on pitch together, to make sure that no one part is louder or too loud compared to the other parts, making sure that we're all producing a song the way that we want to and the way that it should be performed. And at the same time, that also helps us as people, too, to come together and to enjoy what we're doing, to really play off of one another, to sing off of one another. And that's a big part of it, too. That's what makes it so much fun to do.
I bet. You know, the basic tenet of jazz, of course, is interpretation and improvisation. And while you don't really go down the path of improvisation, how you interpret something really has a lot to do with it. You know, I've talked to a lot of dancers who say that, you know, they know structurally what they're supposed to do, but that little nuance that they add to it is what really creates the magic.
Yeah, and I think it's, you know, it goes back to the text. You know, while instrumental people, you know, give us a certain feeling from whatever they're doing, I think we have a job which is wonderful to really bring forth to the audience the words and why the music was composed, because they were based on this text. And our job, while we're making this music making, is to make the text come alive to the audience. And at the same time that the text comes alive, hopefully the body language, the facial expressions that the men are giving, or any singer gives, will also enhance the text and really make the audience really love what they're listening to.
Well, where you're going there, of course, is the engagement between the performer and the audience.
Oh, yes, so important.
And you're making that bridge between them. Now, the Mendelssohn Club, by the way, you're talking about music that's actually composed for male chorus. And unlike some of the traditional ways that you might look at the way music charts are written or whatever, you were telling me that it's essentially it's two tenors and two basses, right?
Two tenors and two basses, and basically this has been around for a long period of time. The literature has been going on since really the 1700s that people have been doing this. But now composers and arrangers today will write something for a mixed chorus. Then we'll also try to arrange it for a male chorus. But sometimes the composer really just writes for the male voice because of the deeper sonorities, the overtones which come out. There's a real nice earthy quality to a men's chorus, totally different from a women's chorus, a children's chorus, and I think that's what the guys really like about the group because it has that low resonance, which is so appealing.
Well, I got news for you. With 64 men on stage singing at this level of professionalism, they ought to bolt the windows down. I got news for you. Yeah, that does resonate. Now, absolutely. The concert is coming up on December 16th.
Yes, the 16th.
At the Egg. What a place to hear this, the Egg, right? In Albany. 64-member chorus. Give me an idea of the program. What's the program?
The program is based on holiday tunes from traditional, old-time Christmas and some new. So you'll see some wonderful arrangements that were written for the club, back in the 30s and the 40s. But then we have newer arrangements from contemporary arrangers, especially from the gay men's choruses from New York City, from Boston, San Francisco, which write a traditional carol in a brand new flavor, which is really, really nice.
Yeah, sure.
And we have very, very talented musicians. Our accompanist, Michael Clement, one of the best accompanists in the area, a fabulous, fabulous musician, really enhances with beautiful piano playing, and sometimes the men also do a cappella stuff where we just do four parts alone.
I've got it. Now, I'm the wild guess here. Oh, you want to say something?
I just wanted to make the point that one of the wonderful benefits of being around since 1909 means that we have pieces that were composed in or slightly before 1909. And so we have a huge music library of over 3,000 pieces of music, which are all stored in the basement of the church where we perform. And it's amazing to have that kind of a choral library, which spans really from the time when the club was founded all the way up to the present. And we do buy new music, new pieces every year.
It's funny, you don't look like you were around in 1909.
I just had a birthday. I'm older than I look, I guess.
So look, I want to remind you here, I can't believe we're out of time. We could talk, I'd talk for an hour about this. December 16th, The Egg. It's a wonderful opportunity, especially those of you that like to go hear music, to really hear what a male chorus can sound like. I mean, it's riveting. And there's 64 members, and it's a blend of all of the holiday-related tunes.
Plus, with guest artists, we have the fantastic Capital District Youth Chorale, conducted by Diane Warner, which will be our guest artist. So they're going to get to hear young people, ages 7 through 18, in a beautiful choral setting. And then we're also going to combine for two big numbers at the end. So it's going to be 85 with them and 65 from us, so we'll have quite a few people singing.
Oh my God.
A lot of people on stage.
There'll be more people on stage than in the audience. I don't know what the Egg is.
Let's hope not,
But thank you very much. Oh, you're the bass, I could tell, right?
That's right, yes.
Okay, that's it.
Yes, thank
you.
you.
You a tenor?
Tenor,
yes. Okay. So make this a point, December 16th at the Egg. I'm sorry we're out of time. You want to give me just a little?
There it is. Yeah. You should join.
Thank you. Thank you very much for coming in, guys.
Thank you very much for
Thanks
having
for
us.
having us.
To see this interview again, you can head to our website, looktvonline.com.